Ahoy there, TV Talk. It's Talk Like a Pirate Day. And there's no better day to talk like a pirate than Talk Like a Pirate Day. Also, there's no better time to tell you about this brand new project that we have coming up on the horizon at Podastery. If you head over to blackflagpod.com, that's blackflagpod.com, today you can sign up to learn more as we get closer and closer to unveiling this new thing. Why could it be? Blackflagpod.com, Talk Like a Pirate Day. I'd wonder what it could be about. Are you curious? Head over to blackflagpod.com to find out. What's up, everybody? It's Bo here, and we got another Andor TV Talk. That's right, it's episode 2. Now, in this episode, we get to do a little bit deeper dive into some of the more background characters from the first episode. Let's talk about Andor's friend, not girlfriend, but friend girl. She's got a boyfriend who's not just a friend boy, but a boyfriend, but she's treated him like a friend boy until they're boyfriend girlfriend. Is she with the rebellion? I kind of feel like I missed something last episode that maybe she actually might be connected to a rebel cell, or maybe we're just supposed to kind of maybe read into her whole deal. Like something's definitely going on. We don't fully know what it is. She's obviously a broker between him and whoever the buyer is. If I had to put money on it right now, I'm assuming it's Skarsgård, who just came flying in and is looking for something. Want to imagine something to buy. But I think because of the promo material, we also know that he's probably going to be recruiting Andor. I mean, I guess that's spoilers, but again, it's pretty, I don't know, there's a lot of scenes, I feel like, that have been in some of the promos that kind of, those two meeting each other and Skarsgård getting all, hey, you, Andor, come join be a rebel guy. Come on, do it. It'd be so much fun. So friend girl, girlfriend, friend girl. She and Andor used to have a little bit of a thing going on, but she's with this other guy, and this other guy sees her reconnecting with Andor. He's like, no, I am not cool with that. And of course, she's being really super sus about the whole situation. So he calls in the whole thing about, hey, Andor's not from here. He's from this other planet. I can't remember the name of it, but it's probably that one where there was that chemical leak. And by the way, those whole flashbacks, we're getting a lot more of those. So last episode, I talked about maybe we might get a little of the backstory sprinkled in. I think probably, at least for the first 3 episodes, they're going to go more the Boba Fett, where this is actually going to be a continuous B/C story throughout the entire run, at least of these 3 episodes, which makes sense. I mean, it sets up exactly what's going on here, kind of the origins of Cassian and how he kind of ended up where he's at. By the way, okay, so man, all right, there's just a lot. There's a lot. For one thing, his mom, I'm assuming that's Mama Andor, maybe? Someone who's been acting as his mom, if not his actual mom. She is chilling. She is also using the droid. They've got kind of this whole joint custody situation with the droid. I meant to talk about this last time, but the droid, it's like a Windows 95 version of R2-D2. You know what I mean? Like, it's like this really, it does speak, which is nice. So it does speak basic, but it's really slow. And, kind of like it has, a hard time processing information fast. And so it's great. It's very cute. I'm very curious as to what the purpose of that droid is. Like all of these Star Wars droids exist and were created for a specific purpose. Although by the time we meet them, they've all kind of developed their own personalities and, they're for whatever the storyline needs them to be. But I'm just kind of curious about that style droid. It's very it's like a turtle droid almost. It armors up. It kind of shrinks back into its hole. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Another thing I noticed in this episode is, Cassian's gun. So he busts out his handgun. And maybe this was the case in Rogue One, and I just completely forgot about the fact, or maybe it's a blink and you miss it type deal, and maybe I'm just reading too much into it. But his handgun looks very much like the handgun from Kyle Katarn in the Dark Forces series. It's like this sawed-off Imperial rifle or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. But it looks exactly like that handgun, and I think that makes sense because Cassian Andor, he was created, and just Rogue One in general does a lot that the Dark Forces series did as a video game. Like they're kind of pulling a lot of inspiration from that video game and from kind of the lore that was built around it for the Rogue One movie. And then I guess this era of Star Wars in particular, Cassian is very much a spiritual successor or ancestor or something to Kyle Katarn. Although now that I say that, I'm wondering, was it Kyle Katarn or Dash Rendar? No, because Dash Rendar, okay, all right, my head's going. No, Dash Rendar used like a regular blaster. Like, no. So it was Kyle Katarn. Yeah, Kyle Katarn had the one with like the sawed-off weapon and it had all the ridges on it and everything else. Looked exactly like what he was busting out, like what he was kind of hiding in his in his like junk house in this episode. We learn a little bit more about the inner workings of this kind of privatized, essentially police force that we're dealing with on the Imperial side. They're not stormtroopers, they're not the Empire, but they're, as they said, the first line of defense is kind of how they see themselves. And they're like this hardcore, low-key, wannabe fascist group that are... yeah, we're like super eager to like make the Empire look good. Even though they're not full-on Imperials, they are very much Imperial loyalists. And we see that our dude from last week is not the only one that's trying to like make winky face over at the Empire. Like there's a whole contingency of these, security dudes that are really, really Team Empire. Like big, low-key fascism vibes. Now, one thing I really liked about this, though, is we got a chance to see him, we see he's eager. Like, we see he's all down for the cause, right? But then when it comes down to it, and he's got his little force, he's a terrible public speaker. And I think that's just really an interesting dichotomy, right? Because we think about this, let's say, worldview, and a lot of the imagery that comes to mind, a lot of, like, more of the notable folks in that particular camp tend to be very, like, big public speakers. It's a hallmark of a lot of individuals in that space is that they're big on bravado, big on big speech, big on, talking loud and commanding the public with raunchy speeches or rowdy speeches or what have you. Here we see dude can't, like, he was like, let's go get him. Let's have fun, guys. It was terrible. It was absolutely awful. It was great. It's interesting to see that, that dichotomy there. But one of the things I really like about this is that we're following Cassian, right? Like he's not quite a member of the Alliance, but like he's literally on the fringiest of the fringes of these things. And even if his friend girl is like part of some form of rebel cell, like it's very clearly on the fringes of such. And so to contrast that with showing kind of the fringes of the Empire, like these two edges of these factions essentially kind of lightly grinding up on each other is really, really interesting. It's something we've never really seen before. Because a lot of times it's, like you have these rebel cells and they're met with like this extreme Imperial, like the full fist of the Empire comes down on them. And it's these odds that are clearly stacked against our heroes. And to some extent, that's still the case. But the fact that we're dealing with the fringes of both, I think offers up some really compelling story opportunities to explore what does that tension look like. And then also what can each get away with because the main powers that be are not even paying attention. Like the Empire is not paying attention. Like, like the Emperor, Vader, Stormtrooper, like even the lowliest Stormtrooper isn't paying attention to this, right? And the same is true. Mon Mothma, at this stage in the game anyway, Mon Mothma's not paying attention to this. Bail Organa's not paying attention to this. The rebel cells, the rebel generals, like they're not like connected to this. So it's literally like the very fringes of this faction war that are coming into contact. And that's just something that's never been explored before. I think it's fascinating. So I'm really excited to see where it goes. Obviously, this is just episode 2. Looking forward to getting episode 3 and getting all caught up with where we are right now in the release cycle. Let me know your thoughts. Head over to tvtalk.fm where you can find all of our contact information and more. You can also head over to Twitter. Use the hashtag #AndorTVTalk to let me know your thoughts. Love to hear what you think about the series so far. I'm really digging it. I think it's really awesome. And I'm excited to explore more. So that's going to do it for me for now. But don't worry. I'll be back in a flash.
The future. So cool, right? All of those amazing new innovations that are going to make life even better. Like, wouldn't it be great to have a car that changes color to match your mood? Oh, wait, even better, your outfit. Buick is thinking about the future every single day. A future built around you. With super smart Buick EVs that can make your life even better. And it's all out there waiting. So let's go to the future together. Join us at Buick.com/future.
Your plans? Today it's dinner with the parents at your spot.
We gotta come back here.
Now, their spot. Or you're on the edge of your seat at the game.
Come on, just one time.
And it's the one. Or maybe you're catching the next flight to...
Now boarding flight 1850.
Oh, that's you. The choice is yours. And when you're with Amex, it's not if it's going to happen, but when. American Express. Don't live life without it.